So, facing on the camera introduces an area. We're in a town called Bux in Switzerland, and we walk into a tiny microscopic country. It's somewhere around here. We have to find out, just looking for the directions, how to get there, but I have to turn to the left so far as I know from my Google Maps. So we're hiking to the next country, and I'll show you once we reach the border here. The African exploring crossing borders in Europe. Let's do it, let's go. We took a train to Bux, and look at those mountains up there. So let's look for this microscopic country hiding. It will be my first time in some of the most smallest countries ever. There'll be one more tiny microscopic country I would like to visit. It's hiding somewhere in France as well. And in these countries, you don't even have to think about spending your money, because if you spend your money, you're poor after that. I could have taken a bus, but I decided to walk because we want to explore, right? So we have to pass by a police station. So let me not always point cameras at police stations. Things can sometimes turn out to be misunderstanding. But look at the mountains. It's amazing. There's some clouds on the mountains as well. We're entering a new country. I see the flag already. I'm not saying the name yet, and I've already got a good title to this video, because from the last video the title just suited the algorithm, and I'll provoke again with this next title. Me, the African crossing another border. Yup. Yeah. This is the Rhine River. And over there is another country. And I bet not everyone in this world knows about this country. I also never really knew about this country. Let's go for it. It's so windy. Look, there's a mountain over there. Let's cross the border. Yep. African man crossing a border. The wind is blowing me in this direction. The wind is so strong, but the weather is so good. So we just crossed the road. I want to show you something. Maybe this could be a good picture for a thumbnail, but yeah. Yeah, a lot of cars coming. Yep, I'll show you the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lichtenstein. Lichtenstein. It's technically a kingdom, a little kingdom within Switzerland, hiding in here. I think I want to make a thumbnail this for a good thumbnail. And yeah, the wind is kind of disturbing right now, and my action's about to float go away, you know. So yeah, I'm in the middle of the border. I'm right in the middle. Lichtenstein. So, right on this side, we touch down. New country. Touchdown. Just in case you wonder, we never touched down in Austria, Germany. This country's already known. So, this is my first time in a country. If it's my first time, touchdown is a signature. So, you want to see the flag? Maybe I'll make this flag even a sticker so strong now. So in Lichtenstein, in this country, they technically actually use the Swiss franc, so they don't have their own currency, but they have their own laws and stuff. So it's kind of like it's acting like a federal state of Switzerland, but with everything it has got its own. So far as I know, I think they also use the Swiss military, so they don't have their own. There's one very interesting video I watched on YouTube, that this microscopic country wanted once upon a time colonize like Alaska, but due to whatever reasons they couldn't colonize Alaska. Maybe because they didn't really have the access to the sea and stuff, because most countries that had colonies, they had seas, you know, coasts. So I think because of that they didn't manage to have a colony. But imagine if Alaska used to be once upon a time a colony of Liechtenstein. It would be a German-speaking country. But even though Alaska used to belong to Russia, I don't know if people in Alaska can still speak Russian today. So you can never know how things would have been. But funny enough, small countries have always managed to gain big territories, like the Netherlands, Belgium. I mean, Great Britain itself is not that big, but they had an empire. But now, thinking of small countries like this is actually a kingdom. In German they call it a Fürstentum. So it's some type of kings. A Fürst is some type of a king, you know. There are a lot of weird words for kings around Central Europe. In Germany, they once upon a time used to have like a Kaiser. It's also some type of king. Actually, a Kaiser is basically a king who's on the top of all the other kings. And then a Fürst is kind of like a tribal chief, you know. Something like that. Something like a chief. And I think, yeah, that's all I know. I did my research. I thought I'm just too excited to enter a country right now, so I didn't really feel like sitting down and reading everything. But about this typical Fürst, I just read a little bit. But like I'm saying, in Central Europe there've always been weird words of kings. So anybody watching this video right now, leave your comments down below about what type of kings exist or existed in Central Europe. I think Japan is the only country that also still has a Kaiser. It's the only one. Imagine if Germany still had a Kaiser. It would be one of the only countries with a Kaiser until today. I think the Kaiser was called Kaiser Wilhelm or something. Yeah, we're in a city, we're in some neighborhood behind me. Yeah, let's check it out. Let's explore a little kingdom. There's no checkpoint and everything. I mean, if you're passing checkpoints, you pass by when you enter Switzerland. We've crossed the border anyway into Switzerland. So let's explore. I really don't know if there's really any difference, really. I really don't feel any difference right now between Liechtenstein and Switzerland. But between Austria and Switzerland, you do feel the difference. Yeah, let's go. So as we saw on the second flag, maybe it's the flag of the region. So far as I know, for example, little kingdoms are also found. I think South Africa is the only country with microscope states, you know. South Africa has two microscopic countries, Lesotho and Swaziland or Eswatini. Actually, let me just throw a little video with this, since I'm mentioning Swaziland and Eswatini, because ever since, you know, the differences between well, a lot of things that are misunderstood between Switzerland and Swaziland is the pronunciation. And I think, like in Eswatini, they never really liked it to be called Swaziland because they were always mistaken for Switzerland. And for example, people always mistake Austria with Australia. It's always, one country is always mistaken with the other country that is very underrated. But I think Austria and Australia, they're both laid back countries, like no one's going to stress about it. But I guess the Eswatini government was stressed about it. Not only them, it's not only them that were stressed about it. There's also another country, Sweden. I don't know, but with Sweden it was Americans who always mistook. Well, I don't know how you can mistake Sweden and Switzerland, but it happens quite a lot amongst Americans, because there was a time last year that Sweden had to promote Sweden like 10 times to say, no, we are not Switzerland, we are Sweden, because they were angry about it. And so far as I know, with Eswatini, they were also just as angry that they were mistaken by Switzerland. So they renamed their country from Swaziland to Eswatini. My first time, I never knew that this city is called Shan. I only heard about Lichtenstein. There's a big mountain ahead of us. And this country is small, actually. I could just walk and cross over, and then I'm all of a sudden somewhere in Austria. Because it's hiding between, it's in a gap between Austria and Switzerland. Feldkirch to the left, and that's already Austria. Road is clear. Must be an interesting place. We talked about it, Feldkirch. Ah, okay, there is that church. We're now in the construction going on. Sigma Bank. Okay, I think this is the downtown. We in the downtown. What a car. Well, I think if you live in this country, you are rich. Kirchstraße means church road, or you can say church way. So over here it's written tak. Actually, I only know that tak means thank you in Danish. Also on that truck, and also on that building, that blue building. Netzwerkstadt Alpen. Well, this is good as a village, actually. It will be interesting where the palace is, where the typical king lives. because it's pretty quiet here. There's really nothing exciting. So if you like this video so far, give it a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching this video from any country you watch, tell me about your microscopic little countries. It doesn't matter, recognized or unrecognized. Share in the comments below. Tell me about certain... In Europe there are many microscopic countries that I never knew about. I only knew about Lichtenstein like 5 years ago.